What's up, everybody? Joe Brown here with the Heresy Financial Show, and we just got the lowest reading in the Homebuilder's Confidence Index since June of 2020, a staggering drop in this index, signaling that homebuilders are losing confidence in the housing market for a number of reasons, and I'm going to explain exactly what that means for real estate over the next coming months into the near future. Ready? Let's dive in. Take a look at this chart with me. You can see there was a significant decline in this index. This measures basically the confidence, the sentiment among home builders nationwide. If we zoom out a little bit, we can see that the trend overall is up. There was a severe drop when 2020 started, shot right back up as everybody was scrambling to buy, and it's been on the decline since then. Now, why is the home builders' confidence level dropping right now? The number one reason for this is inflation. Costs have risen absolutely dramatically for home builders over the last year and 2 years. Costs are going through the roof, number one. Number two, the things that they need to get are getting harder to get. Despite the prices, we've seen major supply chain issues in sourcing materials for building homes. And so while some of those bottlenecks, some of those supply chain issues have been working themselves out, you still have to deal with the other side of the coin, which is even if you can get what you need, it's going to cost a lot more. The third thing is labor. Number one, the cost of labor has risen dramatically. On average, wages have been rising, but people are job hopping, people are moving around, not as much as they were about a year ago, but still that is happening right now. It's getting harder and harder to get your hands on skilled labor and to be able to retain it, and it's costing more when you do get it. Now, the other thing about this is that hard skills like construction workers, plumbers, people who know how to do these hard skills, it's actually like an aging problem. People who know how to do these things are aging out of this workforce. There are not enough new people, young people coming into these industries with these skills. It's getting harder and harder to find labor who actually knows how to get the job done. So then you have training that takes a long time. So home builders are getting hit from every single angle here. You can't find what you need, whether it's materials or supplies, and you can't afford it when you can find it, whether, again, it's materials, supplies, or labor. And so they're getting hit hard from every side of the deal here. Now, the next thing that's going on is home prices are still continuing to rise. There is such a squeeze in inventory right now. Homes are not staying on the market very long. People are buying homes left and right as they can. And so the inventory position, the supply compared to the demand, is definitely something that you would look at this and say home builders should be building a lot more homes right now because there's the demand for it, right? There's not enough supply. The inventory is so low. But they're having to ignore that because of everything else that's hitting them. Now, the next thing that's going on right now is interest rates are rising. Now, everybody understands the relationship between interest rates and real estate prices. All else being equal, ceteris paribus. When interest rates rise, that makes the debt for the mortgage less affordable. And so if somebody can only afford a certain payment, let's say $3,000 a month, interest rates go up 1%. The house price that they can afford goes down by 10%. Not exact, but just about, because when you have interest rates go up, more of your payment has to go towards paying the interest instead of the principal. And so housing becomes less affordable as interest rates go up. Now, the opposite is true as well, which is why we've seen an explosion in real estate prices when interest rates have been so low historically over the last 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, compared to, historically over the last 50 years. Interest rates have been very low, which has led to a giant explosion in the prices of real estate. It's made the payment more affordable, even if the housing prices have gone up. Now, here's the thing to look at right now. We are not seeing a slowdown or a decline in real estate prices on average across the nation, even though interest rates are going up. And I know the Federal Reserve just raised interest rates for the first time a couple of days ago, but mortgage rates have been on the rise for a while now in anticipation of the federal funds rate getting hiked. And so mortgage rates have been going up, and that has not yet led to a decline in housing prices. So why is that? Well, it's because of what I said earlier, ceteris paribus, all else being equal. Now, what interest rates do is they combat the other bullish force is. Interest rates rising is a bearish force on real estate, but all it does is it can combat the bullish forces. And so if the bullish forces are going to drive up prices, let's say 10%, and then you get a 1% rise in interest rates, then let's say that combats with 10% bearish forces, then that would equal out and they would offset each other to where housing prices wouldn't go up or down. And so that's what we have to take into account here. We can't just look at rising interest rates. We also have to look at the entire picture and see there are so many bullish forces right now on real estate that even the rising interest rates are not stopping the growth in housing prices. They're not stopping the real estate market from increasing. Maybe it's increasing less than it would be if interest rates had stayed very low. That's very possible and almost certain. However, it's not enough, at least yet, to push housing prices down because the bullish forces are still so strong. Now, what does it have to do with home builders? Well, because of all this, you are seeing home builders start to get scared, start to pull back and say, hey, we're not sure that we want to build because we have all of these forces combating buyers being able to come in. So they're pulling back and they're saying, we don't want to build all of these houses and then have, a real estate crash happen and nobody be able to buy them. And so they're pulling back a little bit. But if you look at supply and demand right now, if you look at inventory, all that's going to do is contribute to more of a squeeze. Less houses available. That's going to push housing prices up even further. Less new supply getting built. And so there are some bearish forces at play right now. But when you look at those bearish forces and what they are doing to home builders, that's going to feed back in on the supply and demand dynamics. And again, right now, I don't see anything that would significantly impact the real estate market on average dropping. Now, I mentioned this before, but averages matter, right? If your body is an average of 100 degrees, but your toes are 50 and your head is 150, you're dead. So averages matter. It matters where you invest. It matters which markets you're invested in. It matters because some places might go down, some places might go up. Then on average, might go up a little bit. So it absolutely matters. The local areas, your neighborhood, your city, your state, all that plays a big factor. So don't just look at national averages and think you're fine because national averages in real estate in the country have been very good over the last couple of decades, but you wouldn't have wanted to be invested in residential real estate in Detroit over that exact same time period. So the local, the small, the micro matters a lot in something like real estate. So that is what's going on with home builders right now and how it is impacting and how it could impact real estate moving forward in light of everything that else is going on right now, like supply and demand and interest rates. As always, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.